Oh, hello. Hey, Gerhard, how are you today?
Brynne, how are you doing? It's great to see you.
It's great to see you too. And I am really, really excited because we are talking a little bit about a preview of what's coming at the AI Sales Summit, December 6th and 7th. Can you share with everyone a little bit about your concept around this summit and what this will achieve and what folks will learn by attending it? And then we'll talk about some ideas that people can use today, even if they don't attend.
Right. Well, essentially, AI is like a tsunami that is hitting the world.
Mhm.
And what we need to think about is how three things have changed the way we live, the way we work, the way we communicate. And those three things are words, images, and voice. And with the digitalization capabilities since the 50s, when digital imagery came along, it changed everything because now you can actually use the spoken word to create an image. There is new software out there that filmmakers are using where a facial expression and a tone of voice from scene one can be cloned and reappear in scene six. But it requires the actor's consent. So it's really amazing. Then you have ChatGPT, where you can be the master of words, master of content, and create a lot better emails, get a lot better, uh, give a lot better speeches, or write a lot better blog posts, and generate better ideas. So when you think about the typewriter was replaced by a word processor, now ChatGPT is like a thought processor, an idea processor. And then you think about the voice of people, you can, with a sample of your own voice of maybe 20 seconds, you can actually use that and use that digital twin that you have online and read your book that you just published or article and create an audio version and post it and publish it. So there are so many applications of AI for prospecting, for making presentations with, uh, you know, handling objections, for coaching, for rehearsing. I mean, there are so many tools out there. It makes your head spin. There's so much going on.
It's awesome. Yeah. And I'm very excited to learn from everybody and share some of my insights. We've got lots of folks on all different kinds of channels. I'd love to hear in the chat how many of you are using, if you are using AI right now, put a number one. If you're like dabbling, but you wouldn't actually say using, put a number two. And if you're like, no way, I haven't touched you yet, put a number three. I'm just curious what our audience is seeing right now. So I find that so many folks are excited and scared, right? Like AI is very cool in one hand and also a little kind of freaky and what's going to happen on the other hand. So let's just see. We've got a few people coming in. Yvonne says she uses it daily. Yvonne has a content agency, so that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Mark, hi, Mark says a number two, he uses it. He's dabbling a little bit. Mark, we're hoping to convert you over. Mark is great at sales. And we have, I don't, if I apologize if I don't say this correctly, but it's either theory or theory, also using it all the time. So we've got lots of other folks in the audience. I'd love to hear how you're using AI. Gerhard, what is one way you're using it right now? And then I'm going to share a way that I'm using it.
Well, you taught me on how to use it on LinkedIn, and you have shared with us ChatGPT prompts, but I use it really daily. I use it for, I just did an interview with somebody um, who has published a new book, and his name is Jaco. And while we are having the conversation, I used ChatGPT and I said, can you please create an acronym with the word Jaco where each letter stands for a, uh, a sales process design imperative. And, uh, and while we were doing it, I was reading it back to him, and he was totally blown away because it was so accurate. It was at the end of that interview and summarized the essence of what we did in the interview,
Yeah.
which is it's mind blowing. I also use it when I write a blog post. I want to get ideas, and the thing that I found is critical is you need to be really good in framing the question, because if you ask generic questions, you get generic answers,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to be in control and not use what you get without refining before you do the distribution.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the fears that people have with AI is, am I plagiarizing other people? Is this going out and pulling other people's information? So I'm going to give you my first tip. So one of the things that you talked about is based on a conversation that you had. You can grab that transcript and you can put that transcript into ChatGPT or
Right.
Bard or whatever you decide that you're using, and you can ask it to create, like you could say, create 10 bullet points, 10 quotes from this transcript, and tell it, do not research. When you tell it not to research, it will use your content only. So that makes it really simple. There are so many things you can get from a transcript. And personally, we're recommending to salespeople get on Zoom and do 3 to 5 minutes. Or now we have tons of people that are using Sybil that I found at Sales 3.0. I'm going to get lots of commissions on this one. I really, because I tell everyone to sign up for Sybil. It's amazing. It's a note taker that has video and a transcript, and you don't have to do anything. It just shows up, and it summarizes it for you. But then we can take that transcript, and you can find in the video what piece of the transcript you want and just copy that text, stick that into ChatGPT, and it can create original content for you. The blog posts, an ebook. You can say, create an ebook based on this transcript only. For now, I would do a 10 to 15-minute interview for an ebook. But for quotes, for if you just have an idea, let's say you hop off a call with a prospect and you told them something awesome. Get back onto Zoom or whatever you're using. You can actually do talk to text on your phone, but capture your thoughts and use AI to modify that, to create it to be that much more usable and powerful. And you can reuse it. So I'd like to get a sense at the value of ChatGPT 4 versus 3.5, I think it is. Is it worth the cost?
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that, or should I give you my thoughts?
I think you get a richer database with ChatGPT 4. Um, and, I just heard that the CEO of Forrester gave a speech where he said that ChatGPT, the latest version, will actually replace Google search in a very short period of time.
Yeah, yes. In fact, Yvonne and I were on a call. She's the one that said daily, right before this. And I said, we were talking about how we use it as a thesaurus, how we use it for, we'll hop into ChatGPT and use it for synonyms versus going to Google. And I'm loving it. ChatGPT 4, I bought it originally because you had first come, first serve. And when it first launched, you often were in a queue.
Yeah.
So that kind of, because we were teaching it, it jumped the queue. I have not really tested 3.5 in a long time. So I might go back and do that, but I do really love 4, and I think you're right. I think it searches better, and has a lot more. So Stan says it's absolutely worth the cost. Stan, share why. What is it about it that you really like and why it's worth the cost? And we have great refining what you get before using the information given by AI. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really a big deal. And we got a little smiley face. We'll put up a little smiley face. So I see that we just got another scan. We're getting all kinds of scans. Let's just talk about the AI Sales Summit, and then I'll give a couple more tips. The AI Sales Summit, I am so excited to be a speaker. Gerhard, I appreciate how much you trust in me. I was the closing speaker in Vegas for your group, and it was an amazing experience. I met so many wonderful people that, by the way, is turning into so many wonderful partnerships. So it just fabulous. Sybil being one of them.
Right. So
So
there's something that I want to, the salespeople in the audience and the sales leaders. I think another way to think about all this AI innovation that's coming down the pike, it's all driven by money. When you look at the there's a company in Toronto, Cohere. They're an AI company. They have about, according to LinkedIn, 428 employees. And their valuation is $2.1 billion. And there's an even smaller company in Palo Alto. It's called Inflection AI. And they have only 50 people. And that just got $1.4 billion, $1.4 billion from Amazon on a valuation of $4 billion. And then you go up to San Francisco, and there are a couple of companies on Topic, 241 employees, valuation of $30 billion. And a larger company, you know them, OpenAI, they are in San Francisco with 1,000 employees. The valuation is $80 billion.
Oh, that's
and of course,
crazy.
the gorilla in the AI space is NVIDIA. They're a public company, and they have 27,000 employees, and their market value is $1 trillion, bigger than Tesla.
Wow. That's amazing. And, these are all the foundational AI. I mean, we're in its infancy. AI has been around for some time, but the accessibility to us as the average user is, under a year really right now. We're just approaching a year. So it's amazing.
And ChatGPT, it took Facebook about 6 years to get to 100 million subscribers, and ChatGPT got 100 million subscribers in 2 months.
Wow. I think I was on pretty early because I was like, this is pretty exciting.
It also changes the customer journey. So I want people to be aware that customers will ask ChatGPT about your product, about how you rank in the industry. Are you number 8 or number 10 or number 1? And so the way to think about sales is no longer about selling skills, but you want to think about the customer journey and how it's changed. You want to adopt a better sales journey, but you also need to look at the technology journey that we are all on and how it changes the face of selling. And we need to adapt and be agile. There's a new book called The Agility Sales Code by Michelle Vasana. I'm just reading this, listening to it as an audiobook. And it's really fascinating because she reinforces the point that we need to shift our mindset, that one size fits all sales process is dead. We need to be able to implement multiple processes customized to the customer situation. And we need to have a more agile sales approach, meaning that everything will be customized in the future. And companies' efforts to standardize things are counterproductive.
Well, I mean, standards are changing almost daily too, right? Like, so I see the dynamic nature of this, and I understand really where people are confused at what can happen and what they should do. But let's talk for a minute, a couple of ways that that I have used outside of LinkedIn. People know I'm LinkedIn all day, every day. But I had a objection in an email from a pretty large prospect. And I spent about 20 minutes writing and rewriting and how do I handle this? And I'm like, you know what? Let's give ChatGPT. So I copied the objection and I put it into ChatGPT and I said, you know, I am a CEO of a LinkedIn training company who proposed a full year engagement with an insurance company, a property and casualty insurance company, where they came in looking for this and that. This is what they were looking to achieve. They gave me a budget. I proposed based on their budget, and they're coming back asking for more. What is the best way? The objection was, you didn't cover everything we wanted. And I covered everything that I could do in their budget, right? So I put that all into ChatGPT. It took me about 7 minutes to write the prompt, and it gave me the most perfect response. And
Wow.
the response was something like, I really appreciate the opportunity to work with you. The proposal I sent over was based on your budget. We can absolutely handle these other things that you are thinking about. If you would like a second proposal, including that, if you're okay with increasing your budget, please let me know. And I didn't send it until and they said, yes, please send that. And I closed the bigger deal. Now,
Wow.
what I have learned is in the future, I need to say, and this was my fault, right? I need to say to them, this is the proposal based on the budget. If you'd like to include the other things, let me know. Now I know to say that when I send over the proposal. But I just could not get out of my own head in how to answer that. And it was perfect. So my point is, as a salesperson, we get stuck. The other thing is we get annoyed. They want more. They
Right.
want that. Like, you gotta, like, they are in business like we are in business. And so the emotion is taken out of the messaging as well in a ChatGPT, unless you tell it to be emotional, of course. So that was huge for me. Like, I don't know if I had answered that email in my natural voice and what I really wanted to say. If I would, I hope they're not watching. What I really want, that they may have said, oh, she's got an edge on this, or she's defensive. And I didn't want to come across that way. But everything I was putting out sounded that way. That's why I went to ChatGPT. What a huge difference that made. Now, I edited it, but it got me on the right track.
That's awesome. Do you have a link for signing up to the Sales 3.0 conference, courtesy of Brynne Tillman?
So this is, if they scan this link
I
up
don't
here,
see the link on the screen.
the QR code.
Yeah.
Is there an actual link?
Oh yeah, there's one up there on this side. Reserve your
Yeah,
seat.
yeah, the QR code, if you scan, just hold up your phone and open up your camera and click open into Chrome or whatever yours is, and it will take you. There is a free pass and there is a premium pass. With the premium pass, There's a lot of networking. Like I said at the event, look, the speakers were great. I learned a ton. I'm going to tell you the best part is the networking.
Yeah.
The best part is being with the human beings. It's like meeting some, and by the way, you attract some of the most interesting, amazing people in sales. I got to hug Tiffany Bova. Like,
Wow.
hello, right? Like, amazing. So, um, you just attract incredible people. But so there is a free pass here, guys. Everyone at least sign up for the free pass. But I can't tell you, one of the best purchases I have made, I said it already 3 times, Sybil, that I found, never heard of them before. They were a table at the conference. No joke, I have signed up at least 10 people on Sybil. It is the most powerful note taker I have ever seen. It has saved me hours and hours. And it's a note taker, but it has so much. And I'm going to tell you one thing that it does that I've never seen before. You can see when someone smiles and when someone nods. So I was like, when did I get the yes? When did I get the nod? And I realized I talked way beyond a nod. So it's helping me refine my sales process too. Like, I closed it here and I kept going and going and going. But I would never have known that without the incredible AI. So again, scan, there's so much to do. And I think the premium pass is under $100. I'm going to tell you right now, and I rarely sell in any of this, but the idea, you are going to get sponsor content, ebooks, videos, raffles, giveaways. There's so much more that you could get, but you get the virtual networking. And I'm going to tell you that is amazing because you attract incredible folks. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm.
and then also it's international. You have access to people in 40 different countries, and it is a lot of fun because what I realized that the United States is maybe 3 to 6 months ahead of Europe in terms of deployment of AI. But I had a conversation with somebody in Morocco at our last virtual conference, and they like a sponge. They're so hungry for professional selling skills, for whatever services you have for the sales industry. This is the best marketplace where you meet new people, new prospects, make new friends, and learn from everybody.
Yeah. So we got a little bit of activity here. What is this? This is Yvonne. My accountant has used it for constructing client documents for his practice. That's interesting. I actually had an outdated NDA, and someone
Yeah,
asked me to send an NDA, and I used ChatGPT for that as well.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
but there are so many new prospecting tools that are AI driven. For example, there was a company called Modici. They have a tool that is that's compatible with Salesforce or HubSpot, whatever CRM you're using, and without you even knowing it, they correct email addresses or phone numbers. So if a prospect moves, that identify that and replace it, and you don't never have to dial the wrong number because it updates mobile number or mobile business phone numbers with the correct extensions when they change. And that real-time update of prospect information is so critical. There are about 12 different tools like that. It's not Modici alone, Modici.io. But there's Lead Fuse, and there are a lot of sales technologies. There right now, Tiffany Bova's talked about the fact that there are 9,500 sales software solutions that are all designed to help salespeople make their quota. Yet over the last 5 years, the quota attainment percentage has not gone up. Why? Because while technology improves sales productivity,
Hmm.
buying behavior has changed, and a lot of people don't keep up with the changing buying journey. And that's something that you want to be aware of. And you want to be aware of what are the best tools and the best processes to implement so that your company can pivot to a process that allows frictionless selling.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, if you don't do this, you're going to be left behind. If you want, right now we're at the infancy, but the companies, the entrepreneurs that are embracing this early are the ones that are going to thrive through any kind of economic roller coaster. The folks that aren't, they're just not going to survive, at least for very long. So, guys, make sure you are registering even for the free seat. If you can't, if you're at a place where you're not, it, register for the free seat. You will get so much value. If you are in a place where you can invest a little bit, the value is exceptional. But either way, by attending this summit, you will get a competitive advantage. You will
So
find
the
out
best way
ways.
to think
Yeah.
about it is you have probably 16, we have 16 speakers, the caliber of Brynne Tillman. And so
He's so
if
sweet.
you would hire Brynne for an hour's worth of consultation, you probably pay $300. So you
Five.
multiply $500. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
multiply this by 18 speakers, you're saving yourself $9,000.
There you go. Just amazing. Well, I thank you so much for your commitment to the sales community, the value that we bring, that you've brought, and for including me. It's such an honor. So, guys, I'm sure we'll see a lot of you guys on the next live that I do, which I do almost every day now. I feel like I'm on constantly, but I love it. I love this is my favorite part of what I do are these conversations. But I hope to see you December 6th and 7th. I don't even know what day I'm speaking yet. Maybe I do. But I will be speaking, and I hope to bring lots of value around AI and sales, specifically around LinkedIn and content.
Thank you, Brynne. That was excellent. You made
Thank
my day.
you. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.